My beautiful people, what's good? Welcome. This is Once We Are Not the Same, a magazine dedicated to shit that I'm into, the end. This is your host, Phoenix the Fireboy, aka P Africa, aka P the Fireboy, aka P Fire, aka Phoenix 77, aka Fireboy. You know what it is, guys. Welcome to another episode of A to Z of Africa. Today's letter of A to Z of Africa is C. And C today stands for crisis, conflict, and I guess conversation. There's so much going on lately, with Africa. So many conflicts, so many crises like going on across the world at the moment, and this has been a continuous thing. If we're looking at just even more recently with the End SARS movement in Nigeria, just trying to end police brutality, which is mainly being carried out on the youth, because they are the rich pickings, I guess, slim pickings. They're the ones who have no power, and they're the most plentiful. So, they are feeling the I guess the brunt of the brute force of the police. There's that from the crisis in Congo, like civil war, and even just the mining situation where there's kids going down into mines trying to get specific metals for our daily use, for our mobile phones and our microwaves, and down to there's so much happening across the world in Africa. And I guess really this episode is just really about, I guess, educating ourselves on these conflicts and these crises, because again, my window of knowledge is very small. I don't really follow news. I don't watch the news. I don't really watch TV per se, and that being the case, I tend not to. I guess I don't even know what's going on in the world at the moment. I barely know what's going on here. So I guess this really is more about making ourselves aware of the conflicts and the crises and having a conversation about it and educating ourselves on these things, so that when said hashtag does fly up, or said movement does begin, it's not someone who's, I guess, it's not being brought to our attention by everyone else, rather than us knowing what's happening. So this is really for us to start understanding about the conflicts and the crises that are going on in Africa. And Africa is a rich bed of a rich bed of wealth, talent, beauty, but at the same time it's also a hotbed of conflict. And this has been the case for, forever, and when I say forever, ever since the outsiders came in and started to make their mark and started to set tribe against tribe, and clan against clan, and people against people. And this is that divide and conquer thing has embedded itself in Africa. And we should really be coming together as a united Africa, but because of each region's having their own sort of internal crisis and conflicts, it's so much harder to even start thinking about an external, i.e. your neighbour's problems. There's so much going on with what you're doing. But I always believe that wherever there's a conflict, there's someone reaping the benefits of it. And of course, the international banks who take money off African countries, claiming that it's repayment for debt. Africa should never have a debt, considering the horrific and barbaric things that were imposed upon Africa, whether that be slavery or whether that be monetary slavery, and in the guise of repayment of these debts. So I just think that people are, I say people, beings, because they are big beings like banks and families who each year make millions possibly billions from the conflicts that come out of Africa. You know, mining those blood diamonds and all of the cobalt, or all the things that it is that they rape and remove from Africa. They are totally happy to sit back and go, Africa, perfect, mwah, keep killing each other, keep having a conflict, keep having no organisation, keep being under the thumb of the foreigners, keep being a detriment to yourselves and your people. And meanwhile, they sit back and they reap the rewards. And again, I find it very sad that, you know, when a lot of these conflicts happen in Africa, it's kind of, I don't know, it's seen as not as big a deal as if it was somewhere else, you know. It's always the case. They want to show us the same pictures of the flies as if that's what the issue is. It's famine, it's this, but there's so much more going on. There's so much more underlying that is not just about people starving. Of course, people starving is a thing. You know, starvation is a massive crisis in Africa. You know, there's, you know, considering the bountiful fields of food that we have, we continue to have issues with not being able to feed the citizens of Africa, and that should never ever be a case. So yeah, this topic is really more for us to understand and to learn about these things, and not to sort of be removed from it. You know, I found, even just doing the A to Z of Africa, I found it quite tough because, you know, like I said, I want to give the information, and because the information is not at my fingertips like everything else which I can riff off, you know, I find it harder for me to make sure that I'm getting a video to you guys that is actually worth you guys watching and actually is educational. But I've kind of been at odds of, how do I present this A to Z of Africa? Am I just going to, you know, talk about random foods, random city, random bits of culture, or am I actually going to delve into the conflict and the crisis? And I guess I want to give it both. I don't want to paint the picture of Africa, oh, woe is we, how sad are we. I want to paint the picture of, look at how amazing we are, look at what we have to offer. But at the same time, I've also got to bring that, you know, I can't show only the rosy picture. So I suppose I am finding it difficult, or I was finding it difficult to figure out what the balance would be. But I think now I've decided that I have to, you know, especially with the End SARS movement that's been happening. I can't just, you know, be doing A to Z of Africa and not mentioning things like that. For those of you who don't know about the End SARS movement, is obviously a movement in Nigeria, which has been most prominent over the last month of, we're in November now, of October. They are like special police, and they were set up to deal with the spate of robberies that were going on around in Nigeria. And what it then turned into was, you know, a taxation organization, you know, taxing people. Oh God, what do you have for me? What do you have for me? And although the police used to do this always, this was more on a, you know, a bit more sinister, a bit more aggressive. People are being found missing and dead. People are being found missing. People are being found dead. People are being reported missing. Youths are being reported of being beaten up, being taken to ATMs just because they had a laptop, because obviously there's a lot of Yahoo going on. Yahoo is fraud, so obviously you need a laptop to do fraud. But just because I've got a laptop, it's 2020, does not make me a Yahoo boy. Yeah, so it started in Lagos. Obviously there was a curfew which was issued by the governor of Lagos. That curfew was broken. People went to the toll gate on Lekki, and the lights were turned off. You know, I don't know, I think, like, you know, you have like the toll gate lights and that are normally there, the sign lights, and then the lights were turned off, and all of a sudden people were getting shot, and a number of people were killed You know, so this then exploded from and remember, this was a peaceful protest. You know, there people protesting with signs, banners. There were no thuggish elements. I say there were no thuggish elements, but no thuggish elements which were part of the peaceful protest. Of course, you'll always have thuggish elements, but then again, were those thuggish elements sent in by the people who are opposing the peaceful protest just to say, like, oh, look at these guys, they claim that it's peaceful, but look at what they're doing. Miscreants is a word that I've seen used by a lot of the Niger politicians, which, you know, I find quite amazing, because again, people went there on a peaceful protest and then people ended up losing their lives. You know, people were getting shot. If you check on the videos, you can look on YouTube or Facebook, type in End SARS now, or type in Lekki Tollgate, and you'll see like a number of people lost their lives, and you know, for the simple fact that they're protesting against police brutality. You know, it's ironic. You're protesting against something, and then, you know, peaceful protest against something. The very thing that you're protesting against is what is causing loss of life yet again. And I just think it's really sad, because, you know, the politicians are giving the politicians speak. Oh, you know, we don't know why the lights were turned off. We don't know why this has happened. We don't know why the thuggish elements have come and started causing and looting property. Okay, yes, there were properties that were looted and there were things like this, but that's not the crux of the issue. You know, we can talk about the looted property once we talk about the loss of life. You know, and I think this is a problem with, you know, when there's you know, conflict or crisis in Africa. I always feel that the people in charge, they always exacerbate the issue. They never sort of, you know, flatten the curve. You know, they never bring it down. They always heighten it by their rhetoric. You know, the people are always at fault, rather than the fact that it's what we're doing to the people that makes the people restless. It's never taken on board that if I look after my people will look after me, because the people look after you already. We go out and vote for you. You know, obviously I don't vote in Africa, but people go out and vote for you. When you come round and you offer them 3 bags of rice, or you come round on, you know, you come round and you start kissing the babies and look at you, yeah, small child, pick me, come here, and it's all sweet. The people, we still vote for you and we still give you our all. Why? Because we believe and we hope more than anything. We hope for a better dawn. And what do? You take that, you go back to your office, you win, and then all of a sudden the people that got you there, they're not important. The oath that you took to the people is not important. You don't care. You're not interested. You're more interested in curtailing and bowing to the master that pays you for your barrels of oil, or for whatever it is that you export, or whatever it is that you allow them to come and do within your country. You know, and I think this has to stop. There's too much internal issues that we need to resolve within our countries. You know, how can we be having millions of Africans dying from famine, from hunger, from war? Like, why should there be war in Africa? For what? Like, for what reason? If not for the simple reason that someone is profiting off this. And whether it's our own people or outsiders, or a mixture of both, it can't be the way forward. And, you know, just speaking for Nigeria, I don't know what the answer is. How do we resolve it? Because now it seems that things have fizzled out. Do people go back to normal? Is it over? Has the End SARS movement now died down? They've ended SARS, but End SARS isn't about just ending SARS and disbanding SARS, because now they've got SWAT. So, you know, SWAT is SARS in everything else but name, I'm sure. So that's not the issue. The End SARS movement, it really it carries more weight than just, you know, ending the organization. It's about police brutality, and really it's about politicians, Nigerian politicians, giving the people of Nigeria hope. Like, giving them a vision for the future, letting them understand that actually this is where we are, or this is what we are. Our money is bad. We have people that are poor. We have we're importing things that we shouldn't be doing. Our minimum wage is ridiculous. All these things that put a country in crisis. All these things, we're hoping that politicians come, tell us something good. Tell us what your vision for the future is. What is it? How can we as Nigerians get behind you and know that as a Nigerian citizen, this person here, this man, this woman, they really have our best wishes at heart. And I think this is what the African governments, more than anything, need to start sitting down and thinking about. Start really thinking about the people and what is best for the people. And it might sound idyllic, it might sound like pie in the sky, it might sound a bit Mary Poppins, but should we just say, you know, forget all of that and yeah, it is what it is. Africa is spoiled. There's nothing that we can do. If that's the case, then no one can go back home to Africa and make any differences or make any changes, you know. So, you know, ideally that is not our thinking. And I think by educating ourselves on the current, you know, crisis and conflicts and having conversations about these things, we now have more understanding, and we can now, when we go to said countries, have a more understanding of the culture, have a more understanding of what it is that is necessary, rather than, oh, I'm just gonna go and do guy and show off. And you know, it's more about what's necessary. What can I do to make that change? What can I do to incite a different conversation that maybe not for me, but maybe for the grandkids, that they'll see a different Africa. They'll see an Africa that is actually progressive. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope this has sort of lit a fire for you to go and just read up. You can Google, you know, current African conflicts or current African crisis, or just, you know, learn, just pick a country and learn about that country, the good, the bad and the indifferent. And I think that way, if we educate ourselves on, you know, just what's the capital of here, what's the capital of there, oh, what's this, what is, you know, what laws do they have, is it a Muslim state, a country, is it a Christian, you know, just learn bits and start educating ourselves about Africa as a whole, and then we can start, you know, dissecting bits. Guys, thank you again for watching. I appreciate the time that you spend. Please like, comment and subscribe. I love to hear from you guys as always, so please yeah, give me a shout. I look forward to speaking to you, and thank you once again. It's been your boy P Fire, aka P Africa. This has been another episode of A to Z of Africa, and this has been Once, a magazine dedicated to then I'm into the end. Thank you guys. Peace and love. Stay fly, stay educated and stay aware. Peace.